Francis, congratulations on the movie. But first and foremost, I'm going to throw you a curveball. I was sat down the other night, watched myself some I Am Legend, still a quality movie, still holds up. Heard some rumours over time about the idea of an I Am Legend 2.
There may be one, yeah.
So this is a potential reality and not a pipe dream.
I don't know. I have to say, I'm going to admit that I've been a little more on the sidelines of that. The thing I've been more active in is trying to get Constantine 2 going. So me and Keanu and Akiva, who's also on I Am Legend, like I've been putting more of my energy into Constantine 2.
So are you suggesting that might be closer to reality right now as well?
I mean, maybe for me, maybe, yeah.
It's another great movie, I'll be honest here. I love that movie. Okay, let's get on to the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
You're no stranger to these, a few of these under your belt already. How much did this feel like a kind of... Did you feel unbound to do something new and do something fresh, being able to kind of pull us out of the time zone, take us away from most of those characters, but bring us back to that world? Was it an exciting thing for you?
That was super exciting. I mean, honestly, it's one of the reasons I wanted to do it. Is like what I loved about reading the book was it very much felt like a Hunger Games story, but it didn't feel like a rehash. You know, the worry is that you just feel like, okay, I feel like I've seen these things before, these themes, these elements, whatever. And Suzanne just really crafted a really interesting story, a very different one, but that also gave me a lot of freedom to like reinvent the way Panem looked because of the period, reinvent the technology, reinvent the games, tell a very different kind of story about a character's descent into darkness instead of a young girl just trying to survive. So it was a lot of fun.
How different was the experience of making it? Because when you've made a number of films, especially with a star like Jennifer Lawrence, who become this huge global phenomenon by the time you were doing the later films, at least, I guess a big part of it was a collaboration of people who've been invested in that for a really long time, whereas now you've brought in this new cast, it's all fresh to them. They may have wanted you to kind of guide them through the process in a slightly different way.
No, you know what's weird? I mean, I have to say, what was amazing about even my first experience was that, you know, I came on in the second movie, but I had a very specific point of view of what the second movie should be and what my approach was going to be, and I had meetings with everybody ahead of time, and I have to say, even though I inherited a bunch of cast and I brought in a bunch of new cast, everybody was looking to me in those as well, you know? They had decided like, okay, this guy's got a vision for a movie and we're behind it and we're gonna go with it, and they were like behind me in that way. So it honestly wasn't any different here. It was like, they came in, we talked, we ended up sharing a vision for the movie, for the characters, for the themes, and we go.
How exciting was it to work with young Tom, young Rachel, knowing, having seen what happens, knowing kind of what they've got to look forward to, not only with the fandom, the love you guys get from these movies and these stories, but also the excitement of where their careers can go over the next 10 years, because you've seen this route before.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, it's I'm really excited for them, and honestly, I'm really excited, you know, this is partly why I have to say, with, you know, the news of the end of the strike, even though we got the interim agreement for some of the cast, the fact that they can come and celebrate the movie and stand in front of this movie and be a part of like experiences like this, just is really special, I think, for them. And it would have been sad if they wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah. And for people who haven't seen the original movies, people who haven't read the book before, would you say this is as good a jumping on point now chronologically, or would you suggest go back and start those movies from where they were?
I've been thinking about that a lot because people have been asking me that question, and I will say it'd be interesting for people to start here. It's almost like I remember when Francis Ford Coppola like released. There was a Laserdisc version of The Godfathers, and you could go back and watch it in order. It was weird. They split up The Godfather 2 with the period stuff first, yeah, and then this version. And so and I watched it, and you go, wow, that's interesting. It's like, so it'd be interesting to go and watch this one first and get some of the origins, and then go back. I mean, and I think it would work. I think part of the fun, though, is for people that know the books and the movies and all that, is that this sort of upends like what people think of certain characters and certain moments and certain events and certain songs and all these things, you know, and so it's like that's part of the fun of this.
I'd love to see some people's reactions watching this first and then watching the others going, why is Donald Sutherland being so horrible to everybody?